can't wait long enough for a boat, they drop their clothes, they swim across the river. Okay, it's a desperate situation. The Germans are all around this area patrolling. They said it was so dark in there that they actually would tie ropes to the trees, and the men would follow this rope like they're following a ski line up a hill. Okay, it was so dark. They said they'd be pushing into each other in the dark. A lot of these men are walking wounded too. They've been wounded in the battle, and they're trying desperately to get away. They know if they can get across, they're safe. This side of the river is safe. The other side, they're going to be a prisoner of war. So the Canadians use what they call storm boats, and it's probably not the right word for it, because they look like little 12-foot long fishing boats. They ain't nothing great. They got a small little 5-horsepower motor on the back. They load men in these boats all through the night. Okay. Some men are lost. They're under constant machine gun fire points, and the Germans throw up flares. They see them, they shoot at them. They kind of know what's going on here, but they can't get troops quick enough to hear. The British have left some troops back at the hotel, the headquarters, purposely to act as a bit of a delay force, okay? To man some positions, make the Germans think we're still here in force, but in actuality, it's just a few dozen men left there. There's not many. So this goes on through the night, and at 5:45 a.m., when they feel the sun's going to be coming up, they're going to lose the cover of darkness, they call the operation off. The operation was called Operation Berlin, okay? The Canadians evacuated 2,400 paratroopers, a lot of them wounded, to this side of the river. This monument, okay, you can clearly see the Canadian roadie-style helmet they wore in World War II, the British paratroopers in their helmet, they're stepping themselves into the boat. The saying here is a quote from a British soldier. He was asked, what do you remember about that night? He said, what I remember most, when we saw the Canadians, to us, they were just whispers and shadows in the night. It was being done as quietly as they could. They're literally tiptoeing through this area to escape. Now, what I find really unique about this isn't a monument of typical design that we see everywhere. This is a country, an allied country, the British, thanking the Canadians, okay? That's what they're doing in this monument. They're thanking us. This monument is erected to tell the Canadians we appreciated what you did for us, okay? Canada doesn't play a combat role necessarily. We're not fighting an Arnhem. We're not used to big perimeter. We do lose 7 men that night, though, from German fire. So I find it quite unique that it's Britain thanking Canada for what we did that night. Okay, effectively, this is the end of the Battle of Market Garden. This is it. It's over. Okay, and when we get into the Battle of the Scheldt later this week, it's this operation, the Arnhem Market Garden operation, that delays the Battle of the Scheldt that the Canadians are going to have to fight. We get the dirty end of the stick. We weren't participating in this. This is supposed to be the big, glorious push. We're going to take all 3 bridges. We're going to take a sharp right turn right into the Ruhr Valley of Germany. We're going to end this war by Christmas. It don't happen. I think even if they got Arnhem Bridge, in my opinion, the Germans weren't totally ready to fold just yet. They wouldn't have allowed us just to walk into their industrial heartland of their country, okay? So, again, it's a unique monument, and I think it's very fitting, and I'm glad we're represented at least by this, okay? I know it's probably not the most visited monument in this area, but for Canadians, it's very important to be here. So Major General Urquhart Savaisaur, he's played by Sean Connery in the film, if you watched it, okay? Again, a tremendous actor. And he, after the war, I said the British 1st Airborne is basically not dissolved, but it's depleted so badly. We talked about 1,500 dead, 6,500 taken prisoner. That's a division of men we're talking here. And the rest of 2,400 escaped. Like, you cannot reform. The war's over. We're talking 7 months or so later. You can't take a division of paratroopers, train them that fast, and put them back in the fight. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. So very important. Take a good look at it, and remember it, because it gets talked about very little. You got to dig. You got to find a Canadian author, historian, Mark Zulke, Terry Kopp. They'll talk about it. The Americans won't talk about it, and the British maybe, but this is going to be the big focus, right? This is where they were really being put to the test over here. And the crossing is essentially where this ferry is going right now. It's directly across here.